In a defining moment for India's digital legal landscape, Dr. Pavan Duggal, one of the world's foremost cyber lawyers, led a historic legal dialogue at the Global Summit on AI and Emerging Technologies 2025 in New Delhi. Organized jointly by Pavan Duggal Associates, Global AI Law and Governance Institute and AI Law Hub, GSAIET 2025 brought together visionaries, legal minds, policymakers, and tech leaders to address the legal and ethical implications of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. The summit was planned around 6 high-impact sessions, each addressing critical components of the AI and emerging tech legal ecosystem globally. On this occasion, Dr. Pavan Duggal also released his 201st book titled AGI and Law, which explores the legal dimensions of artificial general intelligence. DT was pleased to be part of this great initiative and captured a lot of information for the audiences. We got the opportunity to interact and know more from Dr. Rajiv Mani, who is the Secretary for the Department of Legislative Affairs, Ministry of Law, Dr. Ravindra Narayan Behra, Member of Parliament and also Committee Member of IT Information and Technologies, Government of India. And also, we spoke to Dr. Pavan Duggal about this mega initiative. Check out this exclusive interaction. Pavan sir, first of all, congratulations on this unique initiative, Global Summit on AI and Emerging Tech Law and Governance, which is your forte. So, how do you see this initiative, sir?
I think this initiative is the first of its kind in the world. We have basically sought to collate the thought leaders of the world to understand what are the legal policy and regulatory ramifications pertaining to not just artificial intelligence, but also pertaining to emerging technologies, and how countries and stakeholders need to move forward in the direction of tackling and addressing these legal issues and challenges. The problem is we have begun to start adopting AI like no one's business. Consequently, we have already entered into an area of cognitive paralysis, where we have stopped applying our minds and we started totally relying on what AI is telling us. With the result, AI is beginning to start having an impact upon human rights, upon our cognitive capabilities, upon our privacy, and upon our data protection. In addition, there are cybersecurity and cybercrime ramifications of AI which also need to be taken into consideration. So basically, this conference, this global summit, we've got global thought leaders. We'll be listening to them to understand where we are currently, and then on that basis come up with the New Delhi Accord, which will be a New Delhi Accord on artificial intelligence, emerging technologies, and governance, which is a kind of outcome document of all the recommendations that are going to be made in this global summit. And then these recommendations are going to be circulated to all the 190 plus countries, all the United Nations and all agencies, apart from the Government of India and its various agencies, and all stakeholders in the AI and emerging tech ecosystem, so that at least stakeholders can be alive of how these legalities and these legal whirlpools are developing and what can they do so as to effectively deal with these scenarios.
So we must appreciate such kind of initiative, which is, helping not our country, other countries also to, prepare a framework for the legality of AI, which we are talking. Sir, moving forward, you presented a lot of recommendations and everything. One thing which I noticed about your fundamentals are not clear for us in this scenario. So how do you see the challenges on the basic roots level we need to face and we need to eradicate and work on that to create a good framework and fundamental?
I think the fundamentals are issues which are going to be the building blocks, which we have to build right now. Unfortunately, we have started using AI without even building the building blocks. So the building blocks will have to be issues like, how can we grant legality to AI? Can we make AI more accountable? Can we make it more transparent, more explainable? And in the event artificial intelligence actually causes wrongful loss or harm to individuals or humans, then can artificial intelligence be made legally liable? In addition, what can we do to make sure that artificial intelligence and emerging technologies are going ahead and adhering to common ethical principles and standards which humans will follow? How can we make sure that these emerging technologies are not used by cyber criminals to target other cyber criminals, other cyber crimes and other systems? Most significantly, we need to set up a holistic basis of common legal principles. So I created a framework called the International Artificial Intelligence Legal Framework Initiative. We are trying to create an menu of all legal principles that companies need to keep in mind when they are moving forward in this direction, so that they can pick and choose their own respective elements in the direction of meeting up with their own national AI laws. There's no doubt in my mind we'll have to have AI laws very quickly. The quicker we start coming up with them, and the way the laws are more robust, more future-proof, the better it will be. But laws alone will not be sufficient. You will have to make sure that you will have to create more capacity building amongst users, so that they should not be reckless in going ahead and sharing their data. We will have to adopt an artificial intelligence, due diligence, and resilience mindset as we move forward. Ultimately, unfortunately, AI has come into our lives with no training.
Correct.
We have done no training, and we are using AI as we think best. But in that process, we are making a lot of mistakes. We are leaving behind a lot of electronic footprints, which are going to be used against us. So in a scenario like that, capacity building and creating more awareness is going to be crucial. But ultimately, we'll have to have very strong legal frameworks to govern artificial intelligence and these emerging technologies.
That's great. So, the way you guys are already on all the stakeholders are working on creating the law which is required. But at the same time, the companies are suffering. You shared some instances that the revenue was shared on public platform. So what will be your advice to those corporates, those companies who are not aware about the law and legality, but what is your advice for them?
My advice to companies will be, please be very careful when you are dealing with generative AI in your company premises or in the company ecosystem. Please make as far as possible that your company's specific information, your trade secrets, your financial information is not shared with AI. Because once it's shared, the terms and conditions automatically say that this kind of content is public data, which is then going to be used by these platforms for the purposes of further data trading, which can then prejudicially impact not just the corporate privacy, but also data privacy as well. So I would suggest we need to have our internal policies in the companies on how employees can use AI. We need to specifically sensitize employees not to share confidential information, trade secrets, or financial information with AI. We also have to take specific steps in terms of ensuring that the information about individuals working in the company is not shared via company platforms or company accounts on AI. And ultimately, companies need to use only AI as a tool. Unfortunately, getting everything done from AI is also a bad idea. Maybe the first cut can be done by AI, but more significantly, human caution, care, and human cognitive faculties will be very important for companies in order to make them more topical.
Right, sir. You are a busy man because the conference is already going, and thanks for the opportunity in mid of the session. Sir, just one comment about you presented more than 10 recommendations for India. So what is your top 3 recommendation? For the common people also to know that these are the recommendations which is necessary in today's era.
My top 3 recommendations for India and Indian government is, number 1, we need a dedicated law on artificial intelligence in India. Why? Because the Information Technology Act 2000 and the Digital Personal Data Protection Act are not adequate to deal with ground realities. Number 2, it's time that we will have to update our existing cyber laws and legal frameworks so that at least they can also be sensitized and made more relevant in the context of the AI ecosystem. And number 3, we'll have to go for massive capacity building amongst judiciary, amongst law enforcement agencies, amongst the government, amongst the corporate sectors, and amongst AI users per se. Because now people have not yet started using AI in a scientific way. It's time to educate them and tell them how they can use AI in a manner that they can protect their own personal privacy and data privacy, and yet at the same time not do any activity which can prejudicially impact the sovereignty, security, or integrity of India. These are my 3 primary recommendations that I believe India must do immediately in order to not just only be topical, but in order to also be a global thought leader and a trailblazer as far as artificial intelligence law is concerned. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is very well poised to become a global AI thought leader. It's time for India to realize that what India does in terms of legalities of AI and emerging technologies is going to become a global benchmarking standard which other countries are going to follow. So India has a lot of onus on itself, and I think India is well poised to not just discharge that onus, but also work in the direction of being a global leader in the area of regulation of artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies.
That's great to conclude this discussion, sir, and wishing you all the best. It's a successful event, sir. I saw a lot of experts are here, and it's a global event. So, wishing you many more success in upcoming days.
Thank you,
sir.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Sir, thank you so much for giving the opportunity. And so, global summit, you are part of this event, a global event. AI पे जो हुआ, what is your first feedback on that?
ये बहुत लेवल बहुत हाई लेवल है फीडबैक इस ग्लोबल समिट या आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड टेक लॉज जो लॉज आएंगे बहुत सारा इतना एडवांसमेंट है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस डिस्कशन हुआ बहुत एडवांसमेंट हुआ इसके लिए लॉ चाहिए क्योंकि इंटर वर्ल्ड को मिलाना बहुत मुश्किल है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस जो फ्यूचर है इट इज ग्लोबल हैंडशेकिंग डब्ल्यू जो बोले थे वाइल्ड वेस्ट अदर साइड में क्या है पता नहीं सो न्यू जनरेशन जितना आएंगे वो किसी नहीं फंसेंगे सोशल मीडिया हो जितना सब प्लेटफॉर्म है एक्टिविटीज प्लेटफॉर्म है उसको आर्टिफिशियल ऊपर ले जाएगा लेकिन साइबर लॉ स्ट्रांग नहीं होगा तो ऊपर नीचे गिरा देगा सो वर्ल्ड विल कोलैप्स इफ वी नॉट बी केयरफुल ऑफ दिस
सर भारत सरकार आप भारत सरकार के हिस्सा हैं और जो काम चल रहा है इसको रेगुलेट करने के लिए इस पे तो कैसा डिस्कशन चल रहा है एंड व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट
बहुत सारा मैं आईटी कमेटी का मेंबर हूँ आईटी कमेटी बहुत सारा डिस्कशन चल रहा है जैसे ग्लोबल गैम्बलिंग ग्लोबल गेमिंग एंड कैसे खतरा कैसे है ग्लोबल लॉज आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से सेपरेट लॉ आना चाहिए उसके ऊपर बहुत सारा डिस्कशन हो रहा है आर्टिफिशियल से आगे बढ़ना चाहिए लेकिन आगे बढ़ने से सोचना चाहिए क्या क्या होगा क्या क्या नहीं होगा और आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस शुड नॉट कैप्चर ह्यूमैनिटी इसी से
आखिरी मैसेज जो सिटीजन है जो एआई यूज कर रहे हैं उसके लिए क्या मैसेज रहेगा
न्यू जनरेशन है जेड जनरेशन न्यू जनरेशन जो आ रहा है वो उस बात सुनता है उस बात नहीं सुनता उसका वो अपना एनवायरनमेंट है उसका अपना वर्ल्ड है तो उससे निकल कर सोसाइटी में कैसे बचना है सिखाना चाहिए वो सबको एडवाइस देना चाहिए उसको साइकोलॉजिकली ट्रेनिंग भी देना चाहिए वी शुड हैव ए सेफर वर्ल्ड इसे सोचता है उसको एडवाइस करता है
ठीक है सर थैंक यू सो मच फॉर शेयरिंग वैल्यूएबल इन्फॉर्मेशन थैंक यू Rajiv sir I already heard you inside but I just wanted to know the kind of sharing you did at this global summit on AI which is very important for audience and the entire citizen to know what is happening in terms of legality when it comes to AI.
So you see the impact of technology in our lives nowadays the issue that the emerging technologies and particularly the idea of AI which is going to impact us in a big way in a couple of years, how are we going to be able to impact? So first of all there has to be a need felt. Holding on such conferences, create the atmosphere that there is a need to have some thinking on this very important technological development which is going to engulf us in the coming years and as to how to deal with that. So how it is to be regulated, how the law is to be made and to what extent it is required to be regulated, how the compliances will be ensured. These are all things which need to be deliberated and thought of as a policy at the level of the government. Government, of course, is alive to get all the concerns in this regard. So as to wherever there is an impact of this technology on the citizens, and we need to safeguard the citizens and the systems from the ill effects of any technology. Of course, use technology it has beneficial in so many respects, but of course there is a probable chance of it being misused. And in many areas, we have existing laws currently under the criminal jurisdiction to deal with such matters, but these are specialized things. Perhaps which may require certain thinking about the need to regulate it. Already some countries they don't have taken steps in this direction, and maybe as we deliberate and think about the impact of this technology in our life, surely the thought will come that this is required to be regulated in our jurisdiction also, and I think the time will come and we will be prepared for it. The outcome of such summits provides a way forward in this direction. So I'm happy that I have been invited to participate in this, and I can share my thoughts on this with other experts. And of course, Dr. Pavan Duggal, who is an advocate of AI and law, combined under this. So I think it will be a good impact on overall the way this scenario develops.
Right, sir. Sir, one thing about the technology is changing every day, and the tech law, which we are already discussing, and maybe in the pipeline and the discussion on the table with all the stakeholders. But how do you see this? It's impacting every industry. Okay, so how do you see the government working with all stakeholders in bringing up a good ecosystem? What are the initiatives and what next things we can see in this?
See, as far as the legal aspect of any government part is concerned, it is always a consultative process with stakeholders being involved in discussion. The problems which industries may face while they use AI, or the AI may generate for them which may be unforeseen for the present. We never know how it will impact so many other institutions and private sectors and public sectors in the coming years. But if it happens, that will of course be the feedback which we receive during the consultation process will be a very important aspect in formulating the way forward, the way it is to be dealt with, the way it is to be regulated, or to the extent to which it is to be regulated by a legal framework. So the impact of course is there. We have heard many instances of the use of AI creating deepfakes and negative aspects. Also we are well aware of the use of AI and its use by the government in so various welfare measures, whether it is the agriculture sector, the environment and climate scenarios, and so many other ways. So of course, while we need to promote technology and achieve the goal of exit 2047, the ill effects and misuse of technology has to be covered. There are existing laws, the legal framework requires further reform to deal with new and emerging challenges. The same will be undertaken in due course of time.
Rajiv sir, thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking to you, and I'm sure we need more awareness, such kind of events, which is to pass the information to all the Indian citizens that we are working, and we are looking forward a great way ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.